IT 361, Module 5, Part 2. In this part, we are going to discuss about dual graphs. The dual graph G star of a plane graph G is a plane graph whose vertices correspond to the faces or region of G. The edges of G star correspond to the edges of G as follows. If E is an edge of the graph G with face X on one side and face Y on the other side, then the endpoints of the dual edge E star element of edge set of G star are the vertices X, Y of G star that represents the faces or regions X, Y of the graph G. The order in the plane of the edges incident to X element of vertex set of G star is the order of the edges bounding the face X of the graph G in a walk around its boundary. The dual here is also known as geometric dual. Every planar embedding of complete graph with 4 vertex has 4 faces and these pairwise share boundary edges. Hence, the dual is another copy of itself. A cut edge of the graph G becomes a loop in G star because the faces on both sides of it are the same. Multiple edges arise in the dual when distinct faces of G have more than one common boundary edge. So this is a pictorial representation of the procedure to find a dual graph from a given graph. The first figure here, this actually indicates the original graph whose dual we have to find. For finding the dual of this original graph, we will draw dots in each face including the infinite face. In this figure, there exist 3 finite faces and 1 infinite faces, and each of these faces are marked with a brown colored dots. After marking the dots in each of the faces, connect adjacent faces with edges between the new vertices that cross each original edge. Now, the brown dots along with the newly constructed edges forms the dual of the given graph. These are some of the diagrammatic representations of the dual of the graphs constructed from the given graphs. Some arguments require more careful geometric description of the dual. For each face X of the graph G, we place the dual vertex X in the interior of X, so each face of G contains one vertex of G star. For each edge E in the boundary of X, we draw a curve from X to a point on E. These do not cross. Each such curve meets another from the other side of E at the same point on E to form the edge of G star that is dual to E. No other edges enter X. Hence, G star is a plane graph and each edge of G star in this layout crosses exactly one edge of the graph G. These are some of the observations that can be made about the relationship between a planar graph G and its dual G star. The first one is, an edge forming a self-loop in the graph G yields a pendant edge in G star. Second one, a pendant edge in G yields a self-loop in G star. Edges that are in series in the graph G produce parallel edges in the graph G star. Parallel edges in the graph G produce edges in series in the dual G star. The remarks 1 to 4 are the result of the general observation that the number of edges constituting the boundary of a region Fi in G is equal to the degree of the corresponding vertex Pi in the dual G star and vice versa. Graph G star is also embedded in the plane and is therefore planar. Considering the process of drawing a dual G star from a graph G, it is evident that G is a dual of G star. Therefore, instead of calling G star a dual of G, we usually say that G and G star are dual graphs. Next is the concept of bridges. In the study of planar graphs, certain subgraphs called bridges play an important role. A subgraph of G minus edge set of H induced by an equivalence class under the relation tilde is called a bridge of the graph H in G. Let H be a given subgraph of a graph G. If B is a bridge of H, then B is a connected graph, and moreover that any two vertices of B are connected by a path that is internally disjoint from H. It is also easy to see that two bridges of H have no vertices in common except possibly for vertices of H. The figure given over here is an example for some of the bridges in a graph. Here, as you can see, the bridges are denoted by B1, B2, B3, B4. Next is Kuratowski's theorem. The statement is, a graph is planar if and only if it contains no subdivision of the complete graph K5 or the complete bipartite graph K33. The 5-color theorem states that every planar graph is 5-vertex colorable. It has been conjectured that every planar graph is 4-vertex colorable. This is known as the 4-color conjecture. The problem of deciding whether the 4-color conjecture is true or false is called the 4-color problem. Next is non-Hamiltonian planar graphs. The tooth graph, which is given in the figure, is an example of a non-Hamiltonian 3-regular 3-connected planar graph. The Herschel graph, which is given over here as the second figure, is the smallest non-Hamiltonian 3-connected planar graph. Now moving to the applications, namely a planarity algorithm. There are many practical situations in which it is important to decide whether a given graph is planar, and if so, to then find a planar embedding of the graph. For example, in the layout of printed circuits, one is interested in knowing if a particular electrical network is planar. An algorithm for solving this problem is known as planarity algorithm. This algorithm is used for testing the planarity of a given graph. Now these are some problems for your practice. Try to do it by yourself. That's all from this part. Thank you.